Welcome everybody to Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more commented games, please follow my YouTube and Twitch pages below. Welcome everyone to this featured ranked game on the North American server. For the blue team, see a Twisted Fate in the mid lane, Irelia up top, Blitzcrank, Graves down bottom, and Fiddlesticks in the jungle. For the red team, we see a Kassadin mid, Rumble up top, Janna and Ezreal down bottom with a Twitch jungle. Interesting choice for a jungler, as Twitch has not been used in the jungle for a very long time, and basically has never had any real prominence in the jungle other than exploiting people who don't ward or pay attention to their lane. We also see Twisted Fate picking up Teleport. I'm not sure how well Teleport's going to work, but it will give him an amazing map presence. As we jump in, the score is 0-1 in favor of the red team, as Twitch did pick up First Blood. And Twitch picking First Blood is pretty deadly. It's late game. Twitch is absolutely outstanding. But getting to late game is the problem with him. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to get to late game fast enough to hold off Irelia and the Graves Blitzcrank. But we will see as Janna gets pulled in down bottom and taken fairly low. Though Janna will be taken out here. No, they decide to jump on Ezreal's Twisted Fate. Uses his teleport to great effect. It looks like Janna is in some trouble. She gets knocked up. Twisted Fate with the gold card under tower. Means that she does go down with a double kill for Twisted Fate. And that's exactly what the blue team needed to really spark up this game. Picking up those 2 kills and a lot of momentum for Graves, which means Graves should have a very fun time in his bottom lane. In addition to that, Fiddlesticks is also getting a lot of farm in this mid lane. And Fiddlesticks could definitely use it, even though Twitch is counter jungling fairly heavily. It doesn't matter a whole lot, as every single lane's getting minions and they're getting valuable experience on the blue side. And that's one of the advantages of picking Twisted Fate and Fiddlesticks together. As Twisted Fate goes and ganks, we'll have Fiddlesticks going and picking up his lane for the bonus experience. Blitzcrank coming in here onto Twitch as Fiddlesticks flashes away. Nice knock up by Blitzcrank, but Twitch will just go invisible. And as soon as he goes invisible, he will not be there very long. Twisted Fate ultimate goes out, and Twitch is taken out, giving Irelia a blue buff. That's kind of devastating up top for Rumble. That blue buff is not something you can afford to give Irelia, as it makes her abilities more spammable, and it actually allows her to heal up with that Nhat style. It'll make it so the cooldown is less, and that's just one of those things. If the cooldown on Nhat style is low, she can actually trade with you more often and really punish you. Looks like Janna's going to take some damage under the tower, but Graves is also going to take a good bit down bottom. As Irelia is just going to farm up top. Rumble trying to throw his ultimate just to keep Irelia busy at the tower at this point. He doesn't want to deal with the fight with Irelia, and Irelia is not 6 yet. Looks like Blitzcrank's going to come down bottom and try for another pull. Will he land one? Yes, he does. Nice pull onto Janna there, though he doesn't get the knock up. He saves his knock up for a little bit later. Though Janna's getting pretty low, Graves is as well, and both parties are going to have to back up. Twisted Fate getting fairly low as the Clairvoyance does come out, and it means Blitzcrank will go down to the Ignite. Potion just was not popped soon enough. He'd have popped that as soon as he started the fight, he would have lived. But he didn't. He thought he could live with his mana barrier, but apparently not. The score is now 3-2 with a 700 gold lead in favor of the blue team. Most of that comes from the Twisted Fate passive, as the lanes are fairly even around the board. And the 1 kill. Looks like Fiddlesticks is coming in here. He has hit level 6. Will he actually try and jump on someone? Looks like no, he will not. His flash is not up, so he just couldn't get in the range of Janna. Janna a little too fast on her own. For items, we do see Boots of Mobility and a Duran's Ring up on Fiddlesticks. Irelia has gone with a Ruby Crystal and Mercury Treads. Twisted Fate picking up the double Duran's Rings and the Sorcerer's Shoes. Blitzcrank with a bunch of wards and the Philosopher's Stone. Graves picking up a Duran's Blade and Vampiric Scepter and Boots. Kassadin going for a Rod of Ages. As we do see Rumble about to pick up a Haunting Guise and just a casual Cloth Armor. Twitch coming in the middle to gank Twisted Fate, as they do apply a good bit of slowing damage to him. Will Twisted Fate be able to get away? He does flash at the last second, and Twitch will pick up the kill. He takes a lot of damage for it, but picking up that kill on Twisted Fate is a big deal, especially considering Twisted Fate's ultimate just now comes up, and he's going to have to wait before using it. Fiddlesticks pops his own up, but Janna gets knocked in by the Blitzcrank, and that is a dead Fiddlesticks, as he just took a little too much tower damage and a dead Janna. Not a very good trade, especially considering buffs were picked up by Ezreal, as I do believe, no, he didn't actually, the Fiddlesticks buffs had ward off, as he did have a blue buff at one point during that fight. Looks like we do have Janna with the Philosopher's Stone and likely Kage's lucky pick next. Ezreal going with a Ruby Crystal, likely into a Phage and a Vampiric Scepter. Twitch going to come up top, but I do believe he's spotted out. Yes, he is. And Irelia will be well aware of this, as she just kind of sits around and waits for Twitch. She does have to burn her flash, so that is a fairly successful gank by Twitch, as she really didn't need to burn it, she just needed to back up. Looks like Kassadin's trying to steal blue buff, but Fiddlesticks will jump in here and drain him for a good bit of damage. Though Fiddlesticks is not in good shape at this point, and will be taken out by the beautiful Rumble ult. And this will be a steal onto the blue buff, as Twistfade's going to try and steal it with his cards. But we do have Twitch just smiting it away. Twitch has gone for the Sight Stone in addition to double Durance Blades. Janna gets pulled in, knocked up, but Graves gets knocked back into the tower. Though throughout this whole process, Graves will be able to pick up this kill on Janna. No, Janna flashes away at the last second, but Ignite is just enough damage. The Ezreal trying to get on Graves as Graves is low, but Blitzcrank doing a good job of body blocking. But here comes Twisted Fate, and Twisted Fate will pick up the kill on Ezreal, but Ezreal with his ultimate picks up a kill onto Graves. Blitzcrank going very low, sitting at less than 20 health before regeneration. Looks like Irelia is just going to farm up top and do a good bit of damage to Rumble if she actually decides to go in, as I think she does need to go in at some point, as he can just sit outside tower range and pop that Flame Spitter all day long and have no real repercussions for it. As yeah, that's what she's looking to do. She's looking to just trade a little bit here and push Rumble back. Rumble does not have any way to sustain himself at this point. Irelia does have a bunch of potions. Rumble has overheated, and Irelia is in real bad trouble, as she didn't have her Q up to Blade Surge in and take a fight. Rumble will be taken out up top as Irelia goes down as well. Twisted Fate teleporting up top, but he won't be getting anything. Though we can push this wave nicely to tower and really stunt someone or force someone up top, as I think that's what Twitch is doing. Spirit of the Elder Lizard up on Twitch. Interesting choice. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be, but because it does apply to every single hit on the ultimate, it should be pretty good. Because if he pops and hits 5 people with spray and pray, that additional damage will hit everyone. Fiddlesticks gets his ult cancelled in the bush by accident, but he does still manage to drain Janna. And it looks like Ezreal is in a bit of trouble. His flash is not up for another few seconds. Will Blitzcrank have another hook available? Looks like he's going to try. Fiddlesticks does flash forward and pop the fear. That is a dead Ezreal. A little bit lucky there. Janna didn't get picked off. Janna does get picked off, though, as she gets pulled in by Blitzcrank and taken very low. Graves should have enough damage to pull that, and a double kill by Janna. Really unfortunate. I don't know how Blitzcrank guessed that. But good work, Blitzcrank, as that is just a little bit humorous. Looks like Fiddlesticks has gone for Boots Mobility and double Duran's Rings. Fiddlesticks going to try and zone Kassadin out here as Twitch comes in as well, making this not a very good fight. And it looks like Graves will be hit by the slow, but he will throw out his own in return, and he should be okay, as Blitzcrank does come up here. Nice hook by Blitzcrank, and he gets stunned under there. And there is nothing he could do. And this is the power of Blitzcrank, and why you basically need to ban Blitzcrank. He's sitting at 0-1-9, being an absolute menace in all these fights, and allowed Twisted Fate and Graves to snowball very hard. And he's buying a lot of space for Irelia with this as well, as Twitch can't camp Irelia like he needs to. Irelia should be getting camped and pushed off the map with the fact that they have a Twitch and a Rumble. But they aren't getting the opportunity. There's too much pressure in mid lane and bot lane. And Irelia's getting farm. Not a ton of farm, but a good amount, and she should be able to have a nice mid and late game. Blitzcrank has picked up the Ruby Sightstone. We do have Irelia going for a Phage up next. Trading fairly well with Rumble. It looks like Graves has picked up a Bloodthirster, Dorad's Blade, and Berserker's Greaves. We do have Twisted Fate picking up the needlessly large rod. Kassadin has all the components of that Rod of Ages. We do have Rumble with the hunting guys, and likely going to pick up a Hextech Revolver next, or just go for the Audrey's Torment. We do have the double gold per 10 items up on Janna with the Coyote's Lucky Pick and Philosopher's Stone. Looks like Blitzcrank is sitting up top and going to land a nice knock-up on Rumble. Question is, will he be able to land hook? No, he hooks in a minion. Irelia does land Blade Surge and gets the nice use of the silence on Blitzcrank, but Twist of Fate comes in here to finish off the kill. Little too much wasted for that, in my opinion, as they probably could have chased Rumble down under the tower, but a nice gank by Blitzcrank. And that means Rumble or Irelia gets a lot of space, and Rumble doesn't get a chance to farm. Ezreal has picked up the Phage in addition to a Vampiric Scepter, and this also forces Twitch top. That's the big problem. Is Twitch is top, and no one and he can't be elsewhere helping out the lanes that really need it, like this bottom lane, where Ezreal and Janna are just not in a good position at this point. They're doing fairly well, but Graves is going to be out of control pretty soon, and the mid game, which is basically started at this point, Graves should be an absolute terror. Though at this point, Kassadin's going to roam down, but a lot of missed opportunities as Kassadin jumps in and applies some big damage to Graves. Graves will go down here, though he does try and apply some damage at the end. As looks like Janna does go down in the process, though Blitzcrank is in a bit of trouble. But we will see Fiddlesticks come in with the ultimate, landing it on to Kassadin. And Kassadin will be killed over the wall thanks to some beautiful placement of Twisted Fate cards. That's actually a really nice move. Twisted Fate cards just stunning him over the wall. Kassadin couldn't get out. He should have been able to. It looks like Ezreal might be chased down here by Twisted Fate, though he does jump over the wall, but taking a lot of damage in return. Almost half of his health there. Looks like Rumble's just going to be pushing this top tower as he does overheat, but it looks like Twitch is going to jump on Twisted Fate, but he does not land as slow. Twisted Fate just backs up and throws his cards out, and he should be okay. Looks like Twisted Fate will still try and stay in lane, but I don't think he's going to last long against Rumble here. As Rumble's, or excuse me, against Twitch. As Twitch just does a little bit too much damage and is a little too healthy. But the problem is Rumble can't roam at this point. Rumble's great at roaming through the mid game, as he does a lot of damage, but Irelia's going to jump on him and do a good bit of damage as he just burned Flame Spitter, and he has to wait a few moments to actually pop out his abilities again, as he was in danger of overheating and not getting the Flame Spitter off. Blitzcrank has disconnected, but should be back shortly. As we do have Ezreal picking up the Sheen, which has finally picked up Boots. Graves picking up the Fervor Enchant. We do have Irelia going for the Zeal next. Looks like the red team is going to group up for Dragon, and they should be able to pick it up rather easily at this point, as the blue buff will be going to Fiddlesticks and Twisted Fate. And that's one thing you can do if you know the timer on blue buff, is wait for someone that really needs blue buff to go get it. You can easily do Dragon, even if it's warded, even if they know you're doing it. But for all that, they are going to trade top tower out. And that's a fairly decent trade for the blue team, as that gives a lot more room for Irelia to play around with. Twisted Fate jumping in up on Rumble, and they do get both the stuns, and that is a dead Rumble. Nice play there by Twisted Fate, really abusing his ultimate this game. He's used it several times to great success. And that's exactly what you want out of a Twisted Fate. He has picked up a Deathfire Grasp, and he's looking to really snowball this mid game and bring out a lot of space for this Irelia to just farm to her heart's content. Looks like Blitzcrank lands another beautiful hook, and Janna goes down. Graves is going to be trading with Ezreal, and Ezreal does just Arcane Shift away. Twitch is trying to jump up here, but Irelia is going to lay down the hurt before he does, so he will not be able to come back into this lane. Though he is going to try. I don't think he's going to want to do much more than last hit under tower, should any minions get that far. We do have a Ruby Sightstone, in addition to the gold for 10 items up on Janna. Irelia is going to jump under tower and finish Twitch off with the Ignite. This Twitch had a really good early game, but he hasn't been able to snowball to anything really meaningful late. Looks like Kassadin's going to try and jump in here, and he will not do anything as Graves picks up the bottom tower, making the tower score 2-0. As this Twisted Fate will be able to finish off Kassadin thanks to Fiddlesticks running in from behind the tower. And that Fiddlesticks just doing a great job of roaming this game. He's been involved in a lot of ganks. He hasn't picked up any kills yet, but he's put a lot of pressure down bottom. And it's really helped out this Blitzcrank Graves lane as Janna gets hooked right beside a minion, and that should be another dead Janna, though her ultimate is up this time. And she will live thanks to that shield. Though this Janna has been hit by basically every single hook that's been thrown, and it's just feeling bad. I almost feel bad for her this game. This Blitzcrank's just such an annoying lane fight. Irelia up top will be taking down this Rumble thanks to another Twisted Fate gank. And this Irelia is getting some really nice farm now. She can basically do whatever she wants. Twisted Fate is leading the pack in terms of farm. Twitch has picked up a BF sword. As we do see, it looks like Qking completed up on Irelia. And Deathcap finished on Twisted Fate. This Twisted Fate sitting at 9-1-0 is an absolute terror and doing exactly what you need to do as Twisted Fate. Roam around the map. Twisted Fate coming in down bottom and going to pick Janna off again. Thanks to his teleport. I'm actually surprised how well teleport's been working for Twisted Fate. He's used it several times to amazing effect. And there just hasn't been an opportunity for the red team to really respond to it. Every single time he's teleported, it's been well behind enemy lines where they weren't paying attention. Irelia might be taken out here as Twitch does steal that blue buff or red buff. And here comes Kassadin. Will he be able to jump into range? Just barely. But I think Irelia should be safe thanks to Blitzcrank just being annoying up here. Irelia staying around a little too long for my liking. Kassadin does get exhausted, though Twitch does get pulled back. As Blitzcrank likely to go down here, but the rest of the team does come up. And Blitzcrank gets low. Will he be taken down? Yes, he will be taken down. As Irelia goes down as well. Rumble being picked off. Though Kassadin should be able to easily jump across the wall. Twisted Fate has popped his ultimate and doing the right thing. Just waiting for Kassadin to jump. He was trying to bait out the ultimate to let its duration expire, but no. And that was a 2-for-3 exchange in favor of the blue team. But the question is, will Ezreal try to come in on it? No, he will not. There is a 5,000 gold lead for the blue team as the score is 22-10, and they are up at one tower. And the big problem here is Twisted Fate's getting ridiculous, and there's no one who's going to be able to 1v1 him. So you're going to have to send multiple people to stop a split pusher, or just a really powerful poke mage if they want to play the poke game. And they can play the poke game pretty well, because it's hard to come up in exchange with a Blitzcrank. You come exchange with the Blitzcrank, he pulls you in, knocks you up, they throw a stun card on you, you're dead. Looks like Fiddlesticks is going for a Zhonya's Hourglass. We have Liadri's Torment picked up on Rumble, in addition to the Sorcerer's Suze. Kassadin picked up the Blasting Wand in addition to Sorcerer's Suze, and Ezreal has finished off the Trinity Force. Looks like Twitch is going to go with a Bloodthirster next, as we do have Graves picking up a Zeal and almost a Phantom Dancer. Looks like Blitzcrank does pull the blue over and picks it up. Kassadin is in a bit of trouble, but will Twisted Fate catch up? No, it looks like he won't. But Graves is in trouble as well, as he is dueling this Ezreal. But Irelia jumps in on the Twitch and should be able to pick up one of those kills, but no, she will go down in the process. But Twisted Fate picks up a kill on Kassadin, while Fiddlesticks jumps in down bottom, but not a whole lot happening, basically saving Graves. And that's a 1-for-1 exchange, but not a very good 1-for-1, as Irelia is worth a little bit more at this point. Rumble drops his equalizer down bottom, but no one is in the area to be killed by it, as they just had a little bit too much health. Fiddlesticks coming up as well, and will Fiddlesticks try to do anything? I don't think so. He does get hit by one of those harpoons and is forced back. These harpoons are incredibly deadly on Rumble once he has Liadri's Torment, as they do apply a slow, meaning Liadri's is going to do incredible amounts of damage with the bonus part of its passive, as it does deal double damage to slowed units. Let's see, how close is Fiddlesticks to his Zhonya's Hourglass? He's pretty close. He'll be there in no time. Graves has finished up a Phantom Dancer. What is that, Home Guard? Yes, Home Guard picked up by Twisted Fate. And I'm not sure why I picked that up, other than the fact he can just teleport into these fights from a long range. And I don't think he's ever going to be back fighting at his base. That's the only reason you really want to pick up Home Guard, is if you're on the defensive and you know they're just going to try and poke you down at your base. You can easily run back and run back to the team fight just in time. Looks like Twisted Fate going to come up here and try and deal some damage to Kassadin, but no such luck, as Kassadin is a little too tanky for those cards. And we're going to see a stalemate at this point. Looks like Dragon's going to be the next objective, as both teams really want it. Janna pulling it out, but will she have a chance at it? I don't think so, as Blitzcrank comes in here. But Blitzcrank going in there a little early, And he will be taken down before the fight starts, though Graves throws a nice ultimate across, hitting a lot of people. But there's the problem. Fiddlesticks with the ultimate does a big chunk of damage. Though because he doesn't have his Zhonya's, it's not going to keep him alive. Though no, he does have picked up his Zhonya's just then. And that's a massive kill spree for the blue team. Thanks to that really nice Fiddlesticks ultimate, Twist of Fate is going to do a good job of picking off Ezreal on the back end. And that's a 4-4-1. As Graves is now going to be a pick 5-for-1. As Graves can pick up Janna here. Assuming he can actually keep up with her, but I'm not too worried. As he'll eventually get her. The blue team does take Dragon at this point, and they are now up 8,000 gold. Though Graves will actually not pick up the kill, as Blitzcrank is going to steal it for himself. Good job, Blitzcrank, stealing that kill. Not even allowing Graves an assist. And that's what you want to see for support. Be greedy, and enjoy it. And I'm actually curious, as we're going to have a lull in the action here. How much gold has Twist of Fate earned with that passive? He's earned, it says 130, but I believe he's actually earned more than that. As it is about 400 gold. And yeah, you can actually click on the loaded dice and see how much gold you've earned. It's actually a whole lot. It's easily 1,000 plus gold for this team, as every single member, except for the supports, has at least 100 gold. And that's just the advantage Twist of Fate brings. It's rather impressive. Twist of Fate has completed a Lich Bane now. Aegis of the Legion up on the Blitzcrank. We are going to have Irelia with a Guardian Angel in mere moments. Fiddlesticks with the big ultimate and jumps into everyone, and he will get the fear on Ezreal. That's a dead Ezreal. That's something you just can't have happen. But Fiddlesticks does go down in the process, though Janna gets low, and she will not be taken down by the wild cards. Though Twitch does disconnect, and there's another beautiful Blitzcrank hook. As Twist of Fate will go down here to the tower, shut down by Kassadin. Though, yeah, blue team's in a real big commanding lead at this point. And I'm not sure what the red side can do, outside of just pray this game goes super long. And I think Fiddlesticks realize it's going to be a good game soon after that fight, as the red team just doesn't have much of a chance of getting back in here. Blitzcrank with the hook just barely misses. The Rumble comes in here and is trying to chase things down. Ultimate Ezreal does go across, but no dice finishing anyone off. Looks like Rumble's still going to be chasing. I feel Blitzcrank or Graves just needs to pull off and accept their death, but no. Rumble just decides to go back. He could have easily continued chasing them. Though with Fiddlesticks back up and Twist of Fate up as well, I'm not sure it's the wisest idea. As Twist of Fate should be a real terror in these fights if you can actually not stand in tower range and soak up the entirety of those tower hits. We do have Bloodthirster completed up on Ezreal. Looks like Riot's Crystal Scepter almost up on Rumble. Deathcap almost up on Kassadin. Bloodthirster up onto Twitch. And Janna's picked up the Ruby Sightstone and likely going to go for a Shirley's Reverie next, would be my opinion, or an Aegis of the Legion. Either one is perfectly valid. We do have Graves picking up his Phantom Dancer in addition to Bloodthirster, and likely going to go for the Infinity Edge next. We do have Trinity Force Guardian Angel completed on Irelia. Double Duran's rings. Boots Mobility, and Hourglass picked up onto Fiddlesticks. And a lot picked up onto Twist of Fate. He has a Death Cap, Lich Bane, and Deathfire Grasp. Both sides are going to be just kind of sitting around for the moment, as neither one really wants to pick a fight, as we do see Fiddlesticks reconnecting. And that is Kassadin picking up his Death Cap. And if Kassadin can get in there and stop Fiddlesticks from ulting, their red team might have a chance in these fights. As a good Fiddlesticks ultimate is going to be a real pain in the ass, to put it mildly. As Fiddlesticks is just ultimate is one of the strongest in the game. We also have him picking up a Neil C. Large Rod, meaning it's going to do even more damage. Looks like we do have Graves just going to be taking out these wards. And we're going to have a stalemate at Baron. Stalemates at Baron are pretty fun. And I think the blue team will win a stalemate, as they can just sit back, poke with Twisted Fate. Then if they get landed Blitzcrank hook, great, we'll win this fight. If they don't land a Blitzcrank hook, we'll continue poking with Twisted Fate. And that's exactly how they have to win these fights. There's not going to be anything special done. They just need to sit back, poke, possibly catch someone like Janna sitting here, as Fiddlesticks does pop his ultimate and jump in on Ezreal. And that's a good way to win a fight as well. Have people play very carelessly. Twisted Fate with the ultimate does come out there, and he will land it on Rumble. And that means a dead Rumble. And that should be good game if Irelia does pick up several kills, as Twitch goes down as well. Though Irelia's Guardian Angel will be burned. Beautiful, beautiful catch out there. And I fully expect a surrender vote here, or just pushing down the mid lane, as there are still 20 seconds on Ezreal. Kassadin's the only big threat at this point, and Kassadin's not a big threat. He does a lot of damage, but the second he enters combat, he's going to be feared, gold carded, equilibrium striked, power fisted, or just completely shut down by every single other CC they have, as every single one on the blue team has a ridiculous amount of CC. Everything from Grey Smoke Cloud to Blitzcrank being a CC bot. And wisely, the blue team backs up and doesn't go back at that spot, as they would have been spotted out, as Kassadin and Janna were just waiting. Looks like Twisted Fate's teleport is up, so if he wants to teleport back into this fight, though a minion does follow Kassadin all the way over and give him a nice little hug, so they realize they're not going to be doing Baron at this point, and they can just back up, collect their jungle buffs, and make sure they get the best pipe possible. The Void Staff has been completed up onto Twisted Fate now, and Twisted Fate is going to be a monster. He is sitting at 537 ability power, and is just looking like an absolute beast. We do have a death cap almost up on Fiddlesticks, as they do realize Baron buff is being done. Yeah, I don't think they can really stop it. It's getting low. Twitch might have to flash and try to do something, but no, Twisted Fate is just going to go burn Fiddlesticks. Though he does get fairly low, Graves comes in to finish him off. And even with Twisted Fate jumping into two people that should counter him fairly well, Twitch with the massive damage and Kassadin with the huge silence, he still almost killed Twitch by himself. Infinity Edge has been completed by Graves, and the good games should be coming out at any point now. There's no way the red team can come back outside of the blue team saying, hey, we're going to go try and 1v5 you multiple times. The score is 35-14 with an 11,000 gold lead. Basically that coming down to Twisted Fate and Towers, as Twisted Fate is 15-2-4, and he's giving a ridiculous sum of gold to his team from his passive as well. Easily in the neighborhood of over 1,000. And yeah, I'm just not sure what the red team's going to do from here. They might be able to take a team fight under both of their Nexus turrets, but they're not going to get the opportunity. As the blue side says, hey, let's just push out all the towers, or wait for an interesting Fiddlesticks ult, and there goes the Fiddlesticks ult. Picking up Twitch, and that should be a good game. Blitzcrank was doing a really good job this game, as he's involved in many of their kills. And Blitzcrank is just a terror of solo queue. Every single one of those hooks landing on Janna early meant that Janna never really got anything going down bottom and couldn't support Ezreal properly. And there we go with the good games as Rumble gets picked off at the end. Though he does get saved thanks to the fact the game actually ended. And that's a big victory for the blue team, as they just snowballed their way to victory on the backs of Twisted Fate, roaming around the map, and Blitzcrank landing basically every single hook he threw out throughout the laning phase. And there's a quick look at our items. As we do see, this Blitzcrank was absolutely amazing on support. Twisted Fate did a wonderful job of roaming around the mid, and it showed. Look at his gold, 16,000 gold. And that's pretty insane. And Twisted Fate alone earned almost 600 gold from his passive throughout that entire game. 33-minute game picking up an extra 600 gold is very, very nice. And likely about 1,300 gold from between Twisted Fate and the rest of his team. And that's about an item, easily. If you go throughout the entire game, each one of them picking up in the 200 to 300 gold range. That's just a whole lot of extra gold throughout the entire game. It allows you to pick up those little items. It's basically a Duran's Blade on most people, if the game goes on long enough, or something like a cloth armor. But every little bit counts.
Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more, follow my YouTube and Twitch pages below.